The Hanging Gardens of Babylon, a marvel of ancient engineering and imagination. Imagine a desert, hot, dry, dusty, a place where life struggles to survive. Now, picture lush gardens, waterfalls, flowers in every color. Hard to imagine, right? A paradise in the midst of desolation. That's the magic of the Hanging Gardens, an oasis that defied nature itself, one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world, a true oasis in the desert, a testament to human ingenuity and ambition. We've all heard the stories: kings, queens, romance, intrigue, tales that have been passed down through generations. Were the gardens real? Were they really hanging? Or just a figment of our imagination? That's what we're here to find out. Join us as we delve into the mystery of the Hanging Gardens. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon. Sounds cool, right? A marvel of the ancient world, shrouded in mystery and legend. But the name might be a bit misleading. Hanging doesn't necessarily mean dangling from ropes or vines. Think more like raised or elevated, built on terraces that towered above the ground. Like a rooftop garden, but way fancier, with exotic plants and intricate irrigation systems. See, the ancient texts, they were written in different languages, each with its own quirks and complexities. Greek, Babylonian, you name it. Each language added its own flavor to the story. Translating them is like playing a giant game of telephone. Things get lost in translation, meanings get twisted, and details get muddled. So, figuring out what's real and what's exaggeration, that's the challenge. It's a puzzle that historians and archaeologists are still trying to piece together. It's like trying to understand a joke in a language you don't speak. You might get the gist, but you'll miss the nuances, the subtle humor. And trust me, when it comes to ancient history, the nuances are everything. They can change the entire meaning of a story or a historical event. Now, you'd think there would be tons of Babylonian records about these gardens, right? I mean, they were one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. After all, it was their backyard. You'd expect detailed records, inscriptions, or even paintings. Well, here's the funny part. There's not. It's almost like they vanished into thin air, or at least, not much. Just a few fragmented texts and scattered references. We have descriptions from ancient Greek writers like Herodotus and Diodorus Siculus. They were fascinated by these gardens. They were like the travel bloggers of their time, documenting their journeys and the wonders they encountered. They described these gardens in amazing detail: lush greenery, vibrant flowers, and towering terraces. Terraces, exotic plants, ingenious irrigation systems. It was a marvel of engineering and beauty. It's enough to make you want to book a trip back in time. Imagine walking through those gardens. But here's the catch. There's a twist in this tale. None of these writers actually saw the gardens themselves. They were relying on secondhand information. They were writing centuries later based on hearsay and rumors, stories passed down through generations. So, how much can we trust their accounts? It's a bit of a mystery. It's like trying to write a review of a restaurant based on Yelp reviews alone. You get a sense, but it's not the full picture. You might get an idea, but you won't know for sure until you try it yourself. The truth remains elusive, hidden in the sands of time. So, if the gardens weren't exactly as described, where were they? And what did they look like? Well, that's where things get really interesting. Some archaeologists believe the gardens were actually built by the Assyrians, not the Babylonians. Others think they were located in Nineveh, another ancient city. It's like a historical game of Clue. Was it King Sennacherib in Nineveh with the Hanging Gardens? Then there's the theory that the gardens weren't even gardens at all. Maybe they were just elaborate terraces covered in vines and flowers, like a giant vertical garden. It's enough to make your head spin. Here's another mystery. If the gardens were so grand, wouldn't it take a small army to maintain them? Think of the watering, the pruning, the fertilizing. Yet there's no record of a massive gardening staff in Babylonian texts. No tools, no irrigation manuals. It's like the gardeners vanished into thin air. Maybe the Babylonians had some super efficient gardening techniques we don't know about. Some think maybe they used the Archimedes screw, which is a simple machine that lifts water by rotating a spiral inside a tube. As the spiral turns, it scoops up water from a lower level and carries it upward to a higher level. Or maybe, just maybe, the scale of the gardens has been exaggerated over time. So, Have we solved the mystery of the Hanging Gardens of Babylon? Well, not quite. The exact location and even their existence remain a mystery. Some archaeologists believe they found remnants of the gardens near the Euphrates River. Others aren't convinced. The evidence is still debated, analyzed, scrutinized. It's like putting together a giant jigsaw puzzle with half the pieces missing. But that's the beauty of history, isn't it? The mysteries, the unanswered questions, the thrill of the chase. The Hanging Gardens of Babylon continue to capture our imaginations, reminding us of the power of nature, human ingenuity, and the enduring allure of the unknown. They believed to have been gradually destroyed by a combination of natural disasters and neglect. Over time, earthquakes, which were common in the region, likely damaged the structure, and without proper maintenance, the gardens would have deteriorated. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and like. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so feel free to comment below or write to us about a mystery you'd like us to explore next.